Okay, so hello, good morning everyone. So I will be discussing the last topic in public finance, which is the taxation and revenue operations. Okay, so since we have not met last meeting during our face-to-face, I will just be recording this topic. Okay, so the learning objectives. So at the end of this lesson, the student should be able to explain and analyze taxation and revenue operations, including the tax assessment, collection, and administration processes, and describe and compare the stages of the government budget cycle and differentiate what is a line item budgeting and performance budgeting in terms of objectives and application, and apply zero-based budgeting principles in preparing and evaluating public sector budget. Okay. So first thing is, what is a taxation? So when we say taxation, it refers to the process by which the government imposes and collects compulsory contributions from individuals and businesses to finance the public expenditures and services. Taxation and revenue operations involve the systematic assessment, collection, and management of funds by governments from individuals and businesses to finance public services, infrastructure, and operations. So the key activities includes enforcing the tax laws, managing local and national tax revenue, and ensuring the compliance through audits. So taxes are mandatory contributions, while revenue includes taxes, fees, and fines to public funds to fund rather public goods like defense, healthcare, and education. So when we say taxation, it is the process on how our government collects funds, collects taxes in in its people, in its citizens. So taxation is different from taxes because when we say taxation, again, it is the process of collection or collecting the taxes. And at the same time, when we say tax is but at the same time, when we say taxes, these are the contributions. So this is the money that the government collects. Okay, so taxation and revenue operations, it is a systematic assessment, collection, and management of funds by our government. So last meeting that we had, and we did not have an activity, diba? Okay, so last meeting, no? I mean, when we say revenue operation, um it does not only collects the government does not only collect but also they are the one who enforces the law, who enforces the taxation. Okay. So, revenue operations in public finance involve the strategic administration, collection, and management of funds generated by the governments to support public services. So, this includes establishing tax policies, enforcing revenue collection, managing assets, and forecasting income through taxation and fees to ensure the fiscal stability. So there are key components of revenue operations. So again, revenue operations does not end in collecting the taxes of the people, but it also includes the administration on how our government administer the taxes, how our government collects our taxes, and how our government manages the funds. Okay, so the key assessment includes the key components rather of revenue operations includes the tax assessment, the tax collection, and the tax administration. So when we say assessment, it is determination of the amount of tax payable by the taxpayer. So it is based on income, sales, property value, or other tax bases. So when we say tax assessment, it is one of the key components of the revenue operations where our government assess the taxpayers based sa ila income, sa sales, sa property value. And basing on that one, didn't ma-assess ni government kung pilay bayran na tax burden ng isa ka taxpayer. So the second one is the tax collection. So it is the process of gathering taxes due to the government. So includes the payment systems, withholding taxes, and voluntary compliance. So when we say tax collection, so it is the process of the collection of our government. So meaning diri na mo singod after the assessment, after pag-assess as a taxpayer kung pila is bayaran sa taxes, sa tax collection diri na ang pag-administer ni government kung unho nila pag-collect, what is the system, how they collect the taxes of its people. And then the last one is the tax administration. So in tax administration, no, the government ensures that the people, the citizen, will comply to its tax burden. No? So it audits taxpayers and penalized violations. Okay, so of course, in the Philippines, the National Revenue Operation is the agency or the Bureau of Internal Revenue. So the BIR, it is responsible for assessing and collecting the national internal revenue taxes, enforcing penalties, and conducting audits. So sa BIR, sa ato, diri sa Philippines, they are the one who is responsible sa pag-assess ng mga taxpayer and pag-collect ng mga taxes. So the local government units or the LGUs, no, mga LGUs, under the Republic Act number 7160. So under the Republic Act number 7160 or the Local Government Code, so an LGU, they are the one who generates the revenue through the local taxes and non-tax revenues. So of course, dili ra kun an ato National Revenue or the BIR itself ang mag-collect, no? Si LGU apil subsisa mag-collect, mag-generate ng revenue gikan sa mga local taxes. And then for operational functions, so these include the tax administration, processing payments, compliance monitoring, and enforcing tax laws. Okay, next. Okay, let us proceed to budget cycle. So what is a budget cycle? So of course, si government nag-generate ng revenue, nag-operate ng revenue through the taxation. Okay, so unang man ni government zaon si na kwarta, zaon funds na na-collect ni government. So of course, dili ra kon ang mga tao anzaoy personal budgeting or pag-budget. Our government also do budgeting. Okay, so let us proceed to budget cycle. Okay, so government budgeting is the allocation of public funds to attain the economic and social goals of the country. It also entails the management of government expenditures to create the most impact from the production and delivery of goods and services. Okay, so government budgeting, another government, they are the one who budgets. Sino may katagaan ng budget? Sino may tagaan ng budget ng public funds to attain the goals of our country? So economic and social goals, meaning to give what is the need of its citizen. So budgetan ni government each agency, no, para makadeliver ng programs, activities, projects para sa mga tao. So it also entails the management of government expenditures to create the most impact from the production and delivery of goods and services. So the Philippine budget cycle, so when we say the Philippine budget cycle is a continuous four-phase process spanning over a year, managed by the Department of Budget and Management. So, an budget cycle, this is a continuous four-phase process. This is the process on how our government agencies attain its budget. So, amoy ni ang agihan ng mga agency, government agency, adisir sila makakuha ng budget sa ato gobyerno. Okay, so the budget cycle, again, this has a four-phase process, which are the preparation, legislation, execution, and the accountability. Okay. So the budget preparation. So while distinctly separate, these processes overlap in implementation during a budget year. So budget preparation, for the next budget year proceeds while government agencies are executing the budget for the current year. So at the same time, the state is engaged in budget accountability as it reviews the past year's budget. So in budget cycle, no, this is a malikasan nga na mag-overlap, no? So pay agency na mag-prepare pa, pay agency na mag-execute na, agency na zaon na sa accountability phase. Okay? So pag ato sundon siya, the first thing that the agency will do is to prepare their budget. Prepare their proposed budget, their proposed project. Umay ila proposed project, pila may budget nandiyan siya. So amo zon ang taglaw na budget preparation. So in budget preparation, it can be done from January and July from the previous year. So in budget preparation, what will the DBM do? So si Department of Business and Management, they are the one who issues the budget call to all government agencies. So kinahanglan tanan government agency kinahanglan sa ila proposal, budget proposal, project proposal. And then the agencies will submit their proposed budget, which is reviewed and consolidated in the National Expenditure Program. So an agency, pag mazaon na ila budget proposal, ilay ni isubmit sa National Expenditure Program, and then si NEP sisaan mag-review and mag-consolidate ng zaon na project. And then the President and Cabinet will approve the final budget proposal. So ini si President and si Cabinet dili pa mo lang natag-aproba na niya ang budget amo, ang proposal pa, proposed budget nan isa ka agency. Amo zon tag-sign na ni President sa ni Cabinet. Okay, so after the budget preparation is the budget legislation. So after the aproban ni President sa ni Cabinet, zadton imo proposed budget ni agency, muagi sa legislatives or sa the House of Representatives and Senate. So sa budget legislation, it can be done from August or gikan sa December of the previous year. So the President submits the NEP to Congress and iso proposal budget ma-submit na siya sa Congress, no? And then pag abot sa House of Representatives and Senate, dito ni siya i-review, i-amend, adisir pa siya mapas or maaprobahan. So dito sa legislatives, i-review zon siya. And then i-defend sa ng agency ngano mao man ni siya ang imo proposed budget, ngano dako man kaayo ang budget nga imo gi-propose, and then amura niyan imo project, imo siya i-defend dito sa Senate. So amo sa taglaw na bicameral conference committee reconciles the differences. And then after that one, if okay na ang imo budget, it can be passed, and then the President signs the General Appropriations Act into the law. And then after that one, after na masign ng President, approve na imo budget, then you can do the budget execution. So ang DBM, i-release na niya ang funds sa mga agencies. And then, sa execution, of course, the agencies will implement its programs, projects, and activities. And then after that one, of course, after the implementation, the execution, the budget, the COA or the Commission on Audit will account all the agencies para matanaw nila if na-utilize ba ang funds sa tinuod na project. So agencies will report on their budget utilization and performance. That is the 4 phases in the budget cycle. So let us proceed to budgeting approaches. So what are the budgeting approaches that our government can do in budgeting? So the first one is the line item budgeting. So a line item budget is a detailed financial document that lists every individual expense and revenue source on separate lines, typically categorized by type rather than by program. So it enables precise tracking or spending, improves accountability, and is widely used for project, business, or government budgeting. So in line item budgeting, each item, each expenses na imo na spend sa budget or imo i-spend sa isa ka project, it should be listed. Dili siya kon categorized by program na sa ini na program amo ini magamit namo na papel, amo ini magamit namo na ballpen. No, overall you have to list how many ballpens ang imo magamit sa zaon na project, how many papers ang imo magamit sa zaon na project. Next, the performance-based budgeting or the PBB. So the performance-based budgeting in government links funding directly to measurable results, outputs, and outcomes rather than just historical spending levels. It enhances transparency, accountability, and efficiency by ensuring resources are allocated based on program performance and objective achievement. So performance-based budgeting, it is directly linked to the performance of that agency. Kung ganaan is a performance, there's a possibility na mo taas ang isa budget. Kung ganaan is a result, ganaan is a output, ganaan is a outcome, then there's a possibility na mo taas ang isa budget. So that is a performance-based budgeting. And the last budget approach is the zero-based approach or the zero-based budgeting. So zero-based budgeting is an intensive financial strategy requiring every expense to be justified from a zero base for each new period. Rather than adjusting previous budgets, it drives efficiency by eliminating unnecessary costs and aligning spending directly with strategic goals. So while time-consuming, it provides detailed insights and ensures high-impact resource allocation. So every period begins without pre-approved funds, requiring a total rejustification of costs, requires agencies to satisfy all expenditures from scratch rather than adjusting last year's budget. So in zero-based budgeting, meaning pag mahuman ang isa ka fiscal year, automatically, pag magsugod ang next fiscal year, mubalik ka mo sa zero. Zero budget. Because in zero-based budgeting, you have to justify each of your expenses, each of your budget, nga ngano na aman siya. That is a zero-based budgeting. So, kung zaoy pre-approve, no? Pre-approve na funds nimo last fiscal year, mobalik ka sa zero pag abot nimo sa next fiscal year. Okay. So, what is a public debt management? So public debt management, when we say public debt, it refers to the total financial obligations of a government arising from borrowing to finance the budget deficits, infrastructure projects, and development programs. So when a national government borrows from domestic or foreign creditors, this is called a sovereign debt. So when we say public debt, no, amoy nan utang nan ato gobyerno, no? The total financial obligations of our government. So, makautang ang nato government if kinahanglan ng financial budget atong mga deficits, mga kuyang, mangutang ang nato government for infrastructure projects and for the development programs. So, if an ato government mangutang gikan sa domestic or diri inside sa ato country or appeal sa gawas, or an external debt or from debt from our foreign creditors, it is called a sovereign debt. So, hindi na maklaro diri sa PPT, no? Pero, in our public debt, there is two type, which is a domestic debt and foreign debt. So, domestic debt, it is borrowed within our country. So, meaning, nato government, mamuyos sila sa mga dagko na mga private companies wherein makapangutang sila. And then, foreign debt, which is pwede sila makapangutang outside the country, no? So, World Bank, International Monetary Funds, or mga investors, foreign investors, Amo sa ang taglaong na foreign debt. Okay, so what is public debt management? So public debt management is the process of establishing and executing a strategy for managing the government's debt in order to raise the required amount of funding, achieve its risk and cost objectives, and to meet any other debt management goals of the government, such as developing and maintaining an efficient market for government securities. So in public debt management, it is the process of having a strategy on how will our government manage its debt, no? How will our government raise funds to cover all the debts, all the utang na naa sa ato government? Umay himuon na strategy, umay himuon na technique ni government para mabayaran ni sa adto na utang. No? So that is a public debt management. Okay, so the sovereign debt sustainability. So when we say debt sustainability, it means that the government can meet its debt obligations without compromising economic growth or requiring excessive borrowing in the future. So when we say debt sustainability, it is how our government sustain its debt. Mabayaran ni government ang ato utang without compromising the other factors, the other things that makes our economy stable. So unhon man zaon ang ato government. So there are indicators of debt sustainability. The debt to GDP ratio, which measures how large government debt is relative to the economy. So the debt to GDP ratio, i-measure ni Zeniza, mas dako ba ang GDP ng ato government kaysa sa utang? So kung mas dako ang GDP, meaning our economy is stable. Pero kung dili, mas dako ang utang kaysa sa GDP, meaning dili kon stable ang ato economy. There's sa taglaong na debt service ratio. So it is the portion of the government revenue used to pay interest and principal. So in debt service ratio, kinahanglan sa portion ng ato government gikan sa isa na generate na revenue na namahibayad sa interest and principal sa isa tag-utang. So if grabe kataas ang ratio ng zaon, meaning our government cannot sustain our utang. Pero kung gamay na ang ratio, meaning na-sustain ra siya, balance ra siya. And then the fiscal deficit. So the fiscal deficit, it is the gap between the government revenues and expenditure. Meaning, an akuyangan or kasobrahan ng ato revenue gikan sa isa expenditure sa nagasto ng ato government. So if debt grows faster than economic output, the country may face debt sustainability risks. Okay, next one is the global financial structure. So the global financial structure, it refers to the international system of financial markets, institutions, and regulations that influence the global capital flows and borrowing. So, on global financial structure, these are the international systems of financial markets, institutions, and regulations where it can influence non-capital flows globally and borrowings globally. So in global financial structure, its key components are the international financial institutions, or the IMF, the International Monetary Funds, and the World Bank. So in these institutions, our government can borrow from them. The global capital markets. So when we say global capital markets, these are the markets globally where our government can invest, can do financial transactions, no? Pwede dito mag-invest ang ato government, pwede sa dito manguha ng investors, no? So the global capital markets, foreign investors and exchange rate systems. Okay, so what is the impact impact on the Philippine external debt. So external debt is the debt of our government outside the country. No, external kay sa gawas naman dyan sa tanan ato country. So external borrowing exposes countries to global economic conditions. So there are factors affecting the Philippine external debt. No, so may mga factors na makaapekto sa pagpangutang ng ato country sa lain na country or outside the country. The first one is the global interest rates. So the global interest rates, of course, if there is a higher global interest rates, no, it can increase the borrowing costs, meaning mutaas ang bayronon, mutaas ang utangunon ng ato country kung taas ang interest rate na ginahatag globally. The second one is the exchange rate fluctuations. Okay, this one. So, our Philippine peso, grabe ni sa kawik because in exchange sa $1, for example, in dollar rate, in exchange in $1, it is equivalent to 56 pesos or more than that. Diba? May time ito na niabot sa 60 pesos. So, by that, grabe kadako ang isa exchange in just $1, meaning our currency is very weak. So, if of course, if weak zone siya, our repayment to foreign loans becomes more expensive. Mas mutaas ang ato bayro nun kay grabe ka weak ang ato currency. No? So, it is one of the factors that can affect our external debt. The second one is the global economic stability. So financial crisis may limit access to foreign capital. And then this investor confidence. Foreign investors influence the availability of loans and investments. So managing external debt is critical to ensure long-term fiscal stability, maintain investor confidence, and prevent debt crisis by aligning borrowing with repayment capacity. So proper management minimizes financing costs, reduces vulnerability to exchange rate risks, and ensures that foreign loans fund productive investments rather than excessive consumption. So proper management ensures that there is a sustainable borrowing levels, stable foreign exchange reserves, and protection from financial crisis. Okay, so the Bureau of the Treasury. So, di ba, from our previous discussion, there are agencies who are mandated sa who are responsible rather sa lain-lain na responsibility sa ato financial management sa ato government, no? So ang Department of Finance manages all the financial transactions, financial management of our country. Si BIR, they collect the internal revenues. The Bureau of Custom, they collect the revenues done exporting and importing. The COA, the Commission on Audit, they are the one who audits, no? The agencies, if they are accountable for their budgets or anything. And then the DBM, the Department of Business and Department of Budget and Management rather, who manages the budget to all agencies. So in Bureau of Treasury, it is the government agency which is responsible in managing the funds generated by our government and our public debt. Ang ato utang, si Bureau of Treasury. So no, sa ato treasury management, no, its functions are management of the cash, no? Pila may cash na available ng ato government, and the debt management and the repayment of our debt obligations. So the government securities issued by the Treasury, the Bureau of the Treasury issues financial instruments to finance government borrowing. So, no, so Si Bureau of Treasury, if magborrow ang ato government, they can issue financial instruments, no? For example, the treasury bills and the treasury bonds. So treasury bonds, for example, mag-issue si government ng bonds, treasury bonds sa mga private companies or private organization, mga dagko na mga organization diri sa ato country wherein sila magpautang sa ato government. And then these instruments allow the government to raise funds from investors and financial institutions. And the last one is the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So the BSP or the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas is the Central Monetary Authority of the Philippines responsible for maintaining price stability and financial system stability. So the BSP, sila ang ato central bank diri sa Pilipinas. So they are the monetary authority of our country wherein they are responsible for maintaining the price stability and financial system stability of our country. So, of course, in BSP, they are the one who formulates the monetary policy and the fiscal policy. So, in monetary policy, the BSP controls the money supply and interest rates to maintain the price stability. So, si BSP, sila ang nagkontrol ng ato kwarta, ng ato money supply. Diyon na dili sila pwede makaprint ra lamang ng kwarta kung gusto nila. Tungod kay there are factors, there are problems that may arise if they supply more money. Financial regulation and supervision. So si BSP sila ang naga-supervise, naga-regulate sa bangko, mga bangko diri sa Pilipinas. The commercial banks, rural banks, and the financial institutions. And then, the management of international reserves. So the BSP maintains foreign exchange reserves used to stabilize the peso, pay international obligations, and protect the economy from external shocks. And then last one is the coordination with fiscal authorities. So the BSP works with government fiscal agencies such as Department of Finance and Bureau of Treasury because this coordination ensures that monetary policy and fiscal policy work together to maintain the economic stability. Okay, so that would be all. So good luck and get best on your exam, everyone.